Hey guys, R4GE VipeRzZ here, and today I'm going to show you how you can install Android onto a Raspberry Pi 3. So the Android OS that we're going to be installing is called Emteria. So to install Emteria onto the Raspberry Pi, we first need to download the Emteria installer. So to do that, we're going to come to this link here. The link will be in the description. And if you don't have an account already, you will need to create one, and then you need to log in. Now once you've logged in, we're then going to click on pricing up here, and that will show you the versions of the OS that you can download. So there is the free version, the personal version, and the business version. Now the only real downside with the free version is that it reboots every 8 hours. So if that's a killer for you, then you will have to buy the personal version, but the free version works quite well. So we're going to click free download, and then we're going to select the OS that we're running at the minute. So for me, that is Windows. So I'm going to click Windows, and that will download the Windows installer for the Emteria OS. Right, so now the installer's finished downloading, we're going to open it up, and then we're going to follow the installation wizard. So at the license agreement, you need to read the license agreement, and then I click I accept the license, and then we can install the installer. Right, so now we can click finish, and the installer is now installed on our computer. So to open up the Emteria installer, all we need to do is click in the search bar down here and just type install. And as you can see, there is the Emteria logo there, so we're going to open the installer up. And the first thing you need to do is you need to log in, so I'm going to do that. And then once you've logged in, you then need to select the device that you're installing the OS to. So for me, that is the Raspberry Pi 3, so I'm going to leave it at that. Then I'm going to click continue. And then you need to select the storage device that you want to install the OS on. So I've got the micro SD card that I'm going to be inserting into the Raspberry Pi, plugged into the computer at the minute, and that is drive F. So as you can see here, grayed out is the drives, and the only one it detects is drive F, and that is the micro SD card that I want. So I'm going to click on drive F, and then I'm going to click OK, and that will then start installing the Emteria OS on the micro SD card. Right, so now the install is finished, the micro SD card can now be plugged into the Raspberry Pi. But before we do that, we first need to decide if we want the Play Store on the Raspberry Pi as well. So we're just going to quit the installation here. Now if you want to get the Play Store on the OS, you first need to come to this link here. The link will be in the description, and you need to download the Open Gaps. So we're going to select the ARM platform, and then we're going to select 7.1, and then we're going to select Pico, and then we're going to click the button down here to download it. So now the gaps have downloaded, we now need to move the gaps to a storage device that we can use to transfer the gaps between the computer and the Raspberry Pi 3. So I'm going to plug a USB into the computer, and then I'm going to move the gaps to the USB that I just plugged in. So I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to move it onto the USB like so. So now we have the gaps on our USB. So now we've done that, we can now plug the micro SD card into the Raspberry Pi, and it should boot up into the Emteria OS. So I'll see you in just a few seconds. Right, so now we've plugged the micro SD card into the Raspberry Pi, and we've just powered it on. So it's just getting the system ready. This might take quite a while, so you just have to be patient. Right, so now it's finished, we can now go through the installation process. So we're just going to click next. And then you need to select your language. So I'm just going to select English United Kingdom. And then you need to select your date and time. So I'm going to select my time zone. And then if you want, you can also change your time format. So I like mine at the PM and AM. And then I'm going to click next. And then we're going to leave the Wi-Fi for later. So I'm just going to click next, then next. And then you need to read the terms and conditions. And then once you've done that, you need to check the box and then click next. And then once you click start, Emteria will then start up. So this is what the Emteria OS looks like, and you can open up the apps from here, and these are all the apps that are automatically installed with the OS. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the Play Store onto the OS. Now you don't have to do that, but if you want to do it, then you can do. So that's why we downloaded the gaps earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug the USB that we copied the gaps to, and we're going to plug the USB into the Raspberry Pi. Right, so now I've plugged the USB in. As you can see in the top left here, there is the icon for the USB, so we're going to click and drag down to bring the menu up, and then we're just going to click Explore to open up the USB. Now once the USB is opened up, we're then just going to click and hold on the gaps that we move to it. And then we're going to click on the 3 circles in the top right hand corner. And we're going to select copy to. And then we're just going to copy it to the downloads here. And then we're going to click copy down here. Right, so now the gaps have copied over, we can now boot into the twerp recovery. So to do that, we're just going to click the home button there, and then we're going to click the circle over here, and then we're going to click power off icon here, and then we're going to click recovery. Right, so once it's booted into recovery, we're just going to swipe like so, and then we're going to click the install button here, and then we're going to select the download folder here, and then we're going to click on our gaps here. And then I'm going to tick the box that says reboot after installation is complete. And then once we swipe here, that will install the gaps onto the Raspberry Pi. So we're just going to swipe, and the gaps will now be installed onto the Raspberry Pi. Right, so now the gaps are finished installing, we should now have the Play Store on the OS. Now, as we've just installed a new app, it will most likely come up saying that it is optimizing the system. So when it's optimizing the system, you can still use the OS, but I would recommend that you don't, as it is quite slow. So I would recommend that you let it optimize the apps and then use the OS after. Right, so as you can see, it is currently optimizing the system as we installed a new app. So like I say, I would suggest that you let it optimize before you try and use it, as it will be very slow if you try to use it whilst the optimization is going on. Right, so now the system optimization has finally finished, we're now going to open up the app menu, and as you can see, the Play Store is now installed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to the Wi-Fi, so it's going to drag down from the top, and then we're going to click and hold on the Wi-Fi here. Then I'm going to select my Wi-Fi network, and then I'm just going to enter the password. Right, so now we've connected to the internet, we're now going to come back to the app menu, and we're then going to open the Play Store up. And then we're just going to log in. And now we've logged in, we can now use the App Store like you normally would. But at the minute, some apps will work and other apps won't. So most of the time you will be able to open the app up, but it might not run. Now I don't know how to fix that. I assume it's a problem with the OS, and hopefully that gets fixed in future. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you another time. Bye.